Have you ever fallen for someone so hard that your brain suddenly forgets how to function like a normal adult? Like 1 minute you're living your life peacefully, and the next minute you're checking your phone every 5 seconds like you're waiting for lab results? Well, here's the wild truth. Love can feel exactly like an addiction, and psychology actually backs this up. When you fall in love, your brain basically turns into a Vegas casino, flashing dopamine lights everywhere. You know that little spark you feel when someone texts you, "Hey"? Yeah, that's dopamine doing cartwheels in your skull. It's the same reward chemical that shows up when people eat chocolate, win money, or binge their favorite show at 3 a.m. The brain loves dopamine, and when someone special becomes the main source of it, things get intense real fast. That's why new love feels like you're high on something, because technically, you kind of are. But it doesn't stop there. When you're in love, the brain also lowers serotonin, the chemical that helps you stay calm and rational. Low serotonin is linked with obsessive thinking, which explains why suddenly you're daydreaming about them while brushing your teeth, cooking dinner, or pretending to listen during work meetings. It's not that you're losing your mind, it's that your mind is losing its chill. And don't even get me started on oxytocin and dopamine teaming up like the dynamic duo of emotional chaos. Oxytocin is released when you hug someone, hold hands, or even just feel emotionally close. It's literally nicknamed the bonding hormone, but honestly, it should be called the "I want this person around forever" hormone, because that's exactly what it does. That's why the more time you spend with someone you love, the more attached you become, almost like your brain is saying, "Yep, this is good stuff. Let's keep this forever." And you know what makes this even crazier? Studies show that the brain of someone in love looks surprisingly similar to the brain of someone addicted to drugs. I know, it sounds dramatic. Nobody is out here snorting romance, but the brain scans don't lie. The reward circuit lights up the same way, which is why love can make you do things you swore you would never do, like staying up until 4 a.m., talking to someone, writing messages you rewrite 12 times, or forgiving red flags you'd roast your friends for ignoring. Love literally hijacks your decision-making skills. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for thinking logically, gets a little less active when you're deeply in love. Basically, your brain is like, "Shh, no thinking right now. We're busy being obsessed." But before you panic, this doesn't mean love is bad. Addiction sounds scary, but in this case, it's actually how humans bond and build relationships. Without these intense chemicals, dating would probably feel like filling out a tax form. Logical, but painfully boring. Love has to hit hard, so we actually commit to someone long enough to build something real. The addiction stage is strongest in the beginning, which is why the honeymoon phase feels like paradise with free Wi-Fi. But over time, love shifts into something calmer, deeper, and more stable. It becomes less about chasing a dopamine high and more about emotional security, partnership, and real connection. But let's be honest, the early stage is still a trip. Your heart races, you overthink everything, you smile at your phone like an unpaid actor in a rom-com, and your brain acts like it's subscribed to their personality. And if they don't reply for a while, suddenly you're starring in your own psychological thriller. The funniest part is we all know how ridiculous we act, and yet we do it anyway. That's because love is one of the few experiences where logic steps aside, emotion grabs the steering wheel. The brain is wired for connection, and the addiction effect is simply its way of saying, "Hey, this person makes life better. Hold on to them." So the next time you feel butterflies, the urge to check your phone, or that strange mix of excitement and anxiety that only love can create, just remember, you're not being dramatic. Your brain is just doing what it was designed to get you hooked on someone wonderful. And honestly, for something that powerful, that confusing, and that unforgettable, maybe a little addiction isn't such a bad thing after all.